Hello everyone and welcome back to 4 Kilobyte Shorts Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program. I did it. I don't know how. There's a pole there. It has a one of our little modules around it. We have 347 meters a second of burn time left because I was able to do this. That's at 949 thousand meters, 949 kilometers. I don't even know if that's going to be high enough to miss Joule's orbit. It's atmosphere. I'm hoping it will be because this is like 2 million, I think. The problem is it's because I'm uneven. Whenever I turn on my engine, I roll sideways. So farther is better, of course, but no guarantees. Also, this has kind of gotten us back to where we can almost, honestly, use our probes to get into orbit around other bodies again. So we're almost there. We're almost doing okay. Apparently, my closest approach is 35 kilometers, so that's no good. 35,000 kilometers, so that's no good. So I'm still going to have to keep burning, I think, in order to make sure that my closest approach is not within the atmosphere. And that looks like what's going to happen if I'm not careful. So I'm going to be burning for a little bit more just to make sure that's all clear. But I wanted to show that to you guys. I wanted to show you that I was able to do this really quick. And then we can continue our mission accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and pause here. Lots of pauses, I know, but Joule, basically interacting with Joule and its bodies is not as much fun as until you get into orbit with something. Otherwise, it's a lot of danger and a lot of, oh crap, I think I screwed that up. So I will absolutely see you guys in just a moment. Okay, I was just being silly. It turns out I had Val selected, and that was closest approach on Val. So I've been burning all this time for no reason, but still, 3 million kilometers. Not bad. Because of that, we're going to do a little loop. Yep, we're going to do a loop around Joule. We're gonna check out the pretty that is Joule. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's turn off MechJeb really quick. Let's turn off all the MechJeb really quick, and let's go ahead and come in and see the pretty that is Joule. Oh, look at that. Look at those orbiting bodies. Bodies. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That is pretty. I don't think I'm going to intercept anything, but look. Oh, so pretty. And of course, we have the sun over there doing its thing. And I think that's Val there. Where am I? I'm here. So there's Tylo, Val, Lathe. And then Bop is probably below us and to the right somewhere down there. And so yeah, there's Lathe, and there's Tylo and Val somewhere in between. Awesome. Totally awesome. Let's see what happens when we loop around to the other side. Oh, there he is. He was up on the corner, kind of hiding a little bit. Fair enough. Probably could have gotten into orbit around this. Oh, well, you know what? We're coming by, right? Well, we're being dragged in, and we're kicking up our speed, so and they're much farther away than they look. Although our scatter probe debris is falling into Joule, so that's going to be highly destructed. Wow, I can't talk today. That's going to be destroyed when it impacts. So, and there's Lathe coming around the outer edge. We're gonna get close. I'm pretty sure the atmosphere isn't this high. I mean, I am 3 million meters up, but I'm not 100%. So we never know. We never know. Here we go. 3 million meters around Joule. That's pretty. That's pretty. And there's a Lathe coming around the corner. Lathe's following us. Keep an eye on it. I know this is kind of silly. It's like, why don't you get to something good, KB? It's because you have to look at the pretty. You do notice that up close, Joule doesn't look like a gas giant. It looks like a giant brick. But that's okay. That's okay. If it were actually rendered it via gas, it would probably not look nearly as nice. And there goes... Zoop. There's the moon. There goes the sun, and we're behind Joule now. We're going to come back out the other side. Super fun. Okay. We kind of did that for two reasons. One, to check to see if we could. which we can, so save. And the second is because now we got to figure out which planet we want to get close to next. I did say Val before. There's Val and then there's Tylo. Or was it Tylo before? Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. Okay, closest approach is going to be here. And our area of closest approach is going to be here. So we're both going to reach the same point in our periapsis and apoapsis without effort or cause. How that will affect us, I think, is what we need to figure out. So we'll add maneuver and see what we can do. Okay, I don't know what happened. Oh, is that Lathe? Oh, I'm interfacing with Lathe. Hello, Lathe. Hello. I guess I could get into orbit around Lathe if I wanted. No, I probably couldn't get into orbit around Lathe. I'm just doing flybys. That's when I have to remember that I'm just doing flybys. That's it. What planet is that? That looks to me like Val, isn't it? Okay, we'll take a Val encounter. I'll take a Val encounter. I'm not picky. So we're going to go 1 million meters above Val. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to do a 98 meter per second burn, which will get us closer to Val. Now, what that will also do, hopefully, is when we're basically just going to fly by Val. And it's going to change our orbit. We don't care about that. This probe is garbage. As we fly by Val, we want to drop our other probe and then reverse its thrust so it can get into orbit around Val. That's what we want to do with that. So that's what we're going to do next. That is what we're absolutely going to do next. So I will see you guys when we're back on the other side, because this is going to take one of those funny burns that I was doing before where everything's wobbly. But once we get the second probe ejected, that should be cleared at least for one more rotation. And then we can go back to being wobbly again when we have that last probe on. So I will see you guys when we're in a better position. Okay, everyone, here we are once again, captured by the guy in charge. The ship, the thing, the what's-its. Because of that, we are going to eject really quick. Actually, before, ooh, look at that, pretty. Okay, before we do that, we are going to extend solar panel on this side. So we have solar panels extended. We're not going to extend the ones on the other side just yet, or just in case. So we're going to have those solar panels open. So there we go, nice and clean. We're going to quick save, and then we are going to decouple. Woo! Okay, then we can open solar panel and open solar panel, and then switch ships. Switch ships, yay! Okay, now we want to activate the engine as a start, and then we want to slow down, and hopefully we're close enough to get captured without having to slow down by billions of miles an hour. Oof. Maybe not. Well, it's going to be a capture. Whether it's going to be a clean capture, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to be. Minimum required amount to capture is 1914. So it's going to be a capture, but it's going to be an ugly one. Unfortunately, probably due to speed and distance, I didn't get myself close enough, but that's okay. That's okay. Gonna be. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have space detritus all over Jewel. Look at that. That's what we do. That's what Kerbal does. You build space crap and you put it around Jewel. I mean, this was a good first attempt, but unfortunately my design was flawed, and my incoming trajectory was flawed. So lots and lots of fuel lost on a repair that didn't need to happen, or a emergency fix that didn't need to happen, that kind of thing. So unfortunately, this is not going to be as wonderful as we had originally hoped, but we'll see what we can do. We will see what we can see. See what craziness occurs. Who knows, maybe something weird happens and everything works out fine, but I doubt it. I think right now our best option is pole. Our best option for mapping is pole. These ones are all off-center really bad. If they're not off-center, then they're somehow or other messed up. I did try to get centered as much as possible, but it always takes a little bit of correction. It's not perfect every time, unfortunately. And because of that, I am kind of having to just deal with this the way I deal with it. But we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Partial mappings are okay, right? incomplete partial mappings. And considering I just tried to do a 4-part mapping job on Jules' moons in one single shot, that's not a bad gig. That's not something to say, well, you can't hang your hat on that, because you absolutely can. You absolutely can without question. And, okay, so there's one. Okay, so there's one. Nice and clean. Not perfect, but we're around. So, well, another, I guess, not one. That is another. And then I guess we're going back to the scatter probe. Yeah, the scatter probe. So now we're back down to 2. Yeah, it looks like we're down to 2 probes again. I counted 4. Oh, it was Bop. What? Bop, Pull. It was Bop and Val that we have left, right? Because this is Val. Oh no. Yeah, Bop and Tylo are the 2 in question. So we're going to leave orbit. Goodbye, orbit. Okay, and then we have to figure out. Yeah, we're not gonna get to Bop unless we get super duper lucky somehow. We will attempt a Tylo attack. Tylo attack! This orbit was screwed up to begin with, and the fact that we got as much done as we did is insane. Oh, look at that! Encounter without requirements, an encounter without trial, an encounter without burning anything. Who would have thought? Not I, sir, not I. 6 million. Let us fix that to where it's not 6 million anymore. So pretty out here when it's in motion. I don't know if it would be as pretty when it was not in motion, but it's pretty when it's in motion. All little orbs flying about doing a little thing. So very deep, KB. Yeah, I know. I'm deep like that. I'm a deep guy. Alright, dead on. Dead on. Look at that. Look at that. That was perfect. Alright, so with our perfection intact, let us move forward. And snag. Well, so much for our polar orbit. I tried. Alright, so quick save. And let's just we have some fuel left. Let's see if we can correct for this issue that now won't let me add a line to this. Great. So many problems. So many problems. Alrighty, we'll do it your way then. We will do it your way. We'll do this one. Boink. Boom! Look at that. Ah! It's okay, little guy. You're okay. And then we want to activate the engine. Alright, good. Now that we're in control of this, can I do a line? No. Can I do one down here? There we go. That sucks. I'd like to do one up here where it's supposed to be able to do it, but it's like it's fighting me for whatever being around Jewel the way I am. Everything's like, no. So banged up. So banged up down there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And a little bit further. This one you have to burn more closely to where we're going so that we don't slam into the planetoid. It's a more accurate burn requirement than flying off into the far reaches of space at high speed. Which is what we normally do. Ugh, heavy pull. Poorly built. Not symmetrical. Can't keep her under control. Must remove parts. Make them more stable. Or not. I don't know. I'm just... You know me. Symmetry, people. Symmetry. That's why you need symmetry. Without it, you do this. You wobble all over the place. Whoop. Done. So, wow, that thing's bright. So there's one of our rocks. One of our... I'm sure we're mapping it a little bit. Jewel, thank you. Lathe, Val. So there's a little bit of Val. Bop, nothing. A little bit of Tylo from when we were there. Whoa, Pole's got some mapping data going all weird. Drez has been mapped. Elu. Okay, so a few of our little guys here are working for us. I'm not sure what to do with the big guy though. So let's quick save just in case there's an issue, and we'll switch over to the probe again, the scatter probe, and we'll take a look at what's going on over here with the scatter probe. And pardon me, crushing my headset again. Let's see, scatter probe, scatter probe, scatter probe, scatter brain. Okay, he's about to get, yeah, look at that. That's gonna be my new orbit once we get captured again. With only 55 meters a second of delta V in that center rocket and all in uneven thrust, not thinking we're going to do any good. I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and then I'm going to go ahead and map the 2 or 3 planets we have available for mapping, and then I'll bring those up here at the end for you guys, because that was our main goal, and we'll see if we can get poles straightened out. So I will see you guys then. Okay, everybody, I'm still on the scatter probe. But what I did is I ran through, and it took me a little bit of time, but I ran through, and I renamed the 3 probes we have on hand. So we have the Pole Dancer here at Pole, the Tylost at Tylo, and we have the Valhalla at Val. Now, what I've done is if you go through our list, we have Lathe, our original Lathe map, a map of Val, nothing of Bop, unfortunately, because Bop still doesn't have a probe around it, Tylo, Gilly, I don't know why Gilly's there, but okay, and then Pole. And Pole, if you notice right through here, has a bunch of lines, but that's because it took me like 2 hours to map Pole, because like Minmus, it's very, 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 very tiny. You go around it very slowly. If you're too far up, you don't get good lines. It's very difficult to map. So these lines are not that bad. I'll remap it later if I feel like it, but right now I don't want to just sit here for another 4 or 5 hours just waiting for these lines to go away. But what we're going to do is I have not looked at any of the anomalies. Nope, haven't looked, haven't done a single peep. So I'm going to sit here with you, and we're going to go through each one and check out the anomalies. So we have Val. Let's try anomalies on. Val has one. Val has an anomaly. Something we'll need to go check out right there. So there's something to look at. Okay? And then we have Bop, nothing unfortunately. Tylo. Tylo has 2, I can see here. Yeah, it looks like 2. So 1 here, and 1 up here. Also awesome. Pole. Pole has no anomalies. I was hoping Pole would have an anomaly to have like a reason to go there other than a request, unfortunately. So chilling all day's request is still, I guess, a reason for us to land a manned mission on Pole. But at least now we have no request reason, but at least some reasons to land a mission on Tylo and on Val. So awesome, awesome, awesome. At this point, I will call this a successful mission, at least a 75% success rate. Out of the 4 probes that we launched to Jool, 3 of them successfully made it to their destination, and the 4th one hasn't even been launched yet. I just don't know what to do with it, because getting it to Bop is just, I don't have enough fuel. But I can get it, like this orbit used to be, I don't know if you remember, this orbit used to be very oval, and my orbit actually passes right across Lathe's orbit, but very slowly. So I think Lathe actually grabbed me and flung me into a more circularized orbit at some point. But yeah, those are our maps. So we have maps of 3 moons and 3 more reasons to come back. These 2 because there's anomalies, and Pole way out there because someone wants me to. And I guess that has to be reason enough at this point. So once again, I would like to thank you all for joining me, 4 kilobytes short, on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program. As we are going to leave the scatter probe here, I may do something with it off camera. I may drop the probe around Lathe just to have a probe around Lathe, or I may try something else that's strange. But for the moment, we're just going to leave it here. So I would like to thank you all for joining me on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program, and I will see you next video. Okay, everyone, a little bit of a bonus here. I had this thought while I was recording, or while I was mapping, and it just occurred to me to try it again, and look what I've done. We can't use the last probe because we don't have enough fuel from our current position, but we have 1,225 meters per second in the Pole Dancer, which can then be launched out to Bop. It only takes 196.9 meters a second to get me within 15,000 meters of Bop. And if I'm lucky, very, very, very lucky, that'll leave me enough delta V left over to slow down and get into orbit. So that's what we're going to try. We're going to try to do that. We're going to try to fly out there and get into orbit. So I will do all that hard work for you, and then we'll see the end result. Isn't this awesome? That's great. So I'll see you guys when we're over here somewhere. Alright guys, here we are. Here is Bop. And wanted to show you guys something kind of awesome. That's my burn for orbit of Bop. Not exactly, you know, up down. 355.1 meters a second. More than enough left over. More than enough. So, 100% success rate with an additional pod left over. Now that is some awesome. I am super proud of this ship now. Was feeling kind of bad that it didn't work out 100%, but wow, I'm gonna map all the moons of Jewel in one shot. Boom. So once again, orbital maneuver, super boring. Going to go ahead and pull that off by myself. You know, I'll miss you guys, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off by myself, get in north-south orbit, map it up, and then we'll see what's on it. Yeah, let's do that. Alright everyone, here we are. Check it out. I was able to get us into orbit, of course. And I was able to straighten it, and then I let this run for a while because I had some things I had to do, and it was very slow because these smaller rocks are very slow to map. And so this is like one of the cleanest maps you will probably ever see coming out of my map set. You do see these little black dots here where it wasn't perfect, but that happens. But this is one of the cleanest maps. Don't know if Bop has any anomalies. Let's see if it does. One. Bop has an anomaly, and I think I know what that anomaly is. Like I said, I watched Scott Manley, and he did a few anomalies. I didn't want to watch all of them, but I did see that one, I think, the one for Bop. And so I think I know what that one is. But we'll come visit it as well as all the others. So, very special bonus, and very much I would like to thank all of you for joining me, 4 kilobyte short, and our scatter probe, which is now at 110% efficiency because it did more than it was supposed to with less parts than it actually had to. Well, I guess it did exactly what it was supposed to, but using less parts than it had at hand. And I would like to thank you very much for joining me and all of these wonderful, wonderful little planetoids in Kerbal Space Program. And I will see you next video.